He's in Smash Brothers?
Yeah, he is. He comes on and like talks about how he has like a theory about his work that's clearly wrong, and then he makes fun of brown people. It's a very interesting direction for the series, but I believe in Sakurai and I trust him. And I'm gonna see where it goes. Come the
quick
release.
Spark Notes. I know nothing about what you were referencing. What did Ridley Scott do?
Ridley Scott made Alien. He made Blade Runner.
No. I mean, what was his theory that was wrong? Or
that is referencing like how he's the only one who thinks the main character in Blade Runner is a replicant,
is a
robot, whereas everyone else is just like, no, he's clearly human.
Yeah.
And then the making fun of brown people thing was when he made that Egypt movie. And
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, no, not Gods of Egypt. It was Exodus. Remember, it was
right. It was the story of Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, it was the Ten Commandments.
You're right.
It was the Ten Commandments story, and then people were just like, oh, how comes like you cast all white people? And then he's just like,
well, no one's gonna know any of these brown people.
Yeah, that was essentially it. He's like,
Jesus.
That was essentially it. He said,
That's exactly what it was.
How am I gonna get this movie made if it stars like
what do you mean how are you gonna get made? You're fucking Ridley Scott.
If it stars like Muhammad whatever the name is, that's like a direct quote.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You don't think the name Ridley Scott was gonna be big enough to fund it yourself, you retard? Oh, Ridley Scott.
You might want to get the phones off the table because I'm hearing
Yes.
that hum.
I just wanted to say my joke earlier. My favorite Ridley Scott move in Smash Brothers is when James Cameron comes out and jerks him off for 3 minutes. And he busts all over James Cameron's face, and then they both lick it off one another. And then all the characters on the screen just kind of walk away.
And die.
Yeah, they die. They just walk off and die.
I like that.
It's a bold new direction for the series.
It is,
Have you been recording at all?
Yes, I've been recording
Oh,
the past
great.
few minutes. And we're back. Hello, everybody. This is your favorite show. It's called Friends by Default.
Where we're all friends here, even if we assume the other person's gonna enjoy the intro with them.
Are you drunk?
No. Are you?
No, but there's going to be a lot of stuttering on today.
But that's normal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll just edit around the stuttering.
Then
that
you're going to have
do.
like 5 minutes of a show.
that I do. I'll edit the stuttering that I do.
Man, we don't got Liam today. It's the original 3.
It is the original 3.
Oh God, the
After last week was the original 2.
Oh,
the terrible 2s, and then the okay 3s.
We got more out of last week's episode than I thought. I only cut out about like 4 minutes worth of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm the best.
Are you all right?
Woo!
Are you all right
It
today?
is really hot out.
It
today.
is. It is scorching hot out
It's
today.
like it's in the 90s today.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the 90s, but it feels like it's 110 with
Yes.
the humidity.
Yeah.
Back to you, Yaskovich.
I'm outside and...
So anyway, for those who don't know, this show of shows is about answering the big questions in life, the quandaries that have puzzled the greatest thinkers for literal generations. But we proved that all those guys were just dumb.
They're idiots.
And we're smarter than any of them.
And that's why all 3 of us should become president right now.
Yeah.
We can fix it all and then destroy it all in a single moment.
And-
I'll do it right now and done.
And you know that, like, you know that we're smarter than them because we can come up with brand new quandaries, new hypothetical
man.
scenarios that
Absolutely.
like test the mind and like the limits of humanity, freedom, limits of freedom.
Albert Einstein's one of the biggest idiots I've ever read. If you look at his theories, they're all wrong. That's a real YouTube comment I read once.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Cool.
It's like one of the first ever comments.
You
I
know
read.
where I go to like get my verifiable sources? YouTube comments.
Dude, I do too, man. Like,
'Cause,
that's where I
like,
get all my
that explains a
opinions.
lot, actually.
Because like you have to
For
present.
you.
Oh, jeez. You have to present your PhD. Like you have to do like the photo recognized PhD thing in order
Yeah.
to get a YouTube account. Everyone knows that.
Yep. I've got 5.
That's why YouTube is full of geniuses.
That's one of the words that you can use.
So what's the first question, bro?
I mean,
My first question is, did you see Incredibles 2 yet?
No.
I did.
I liked it.
I liked it too. Like I think we talked about this before, but The Incredibles, like the thing about it is that like just for me, like personally, and like what I'm looking in films, like the first one and the new one, like would probably never rank up amongst like my favorite superhero movies or even like my favorite Pixar movies. But Brad Bird, goddamn, is he a good director?
What else has Brad Bird done?
He did Iron Giant, which was his first.
He did
movie.
Iron Giant?
Yep.
What?
Iron-
That's that guy?
Iron Giant's great. Yeah,
I love Iron Giant.
Iron Giant's great. He also
I just
did.
recently rewatched that, and guess what? It's still real good.
Dude, it's so good.
It's great, and like he also did Ratatouille for Pixar, which
Oh, nice.
like I would kind of throw into the same category. He did one of the best Mission Impossible movies, which was
Is that new one?
no, not the newest one. He did Mission Impossible 4, which was the one when they're in Dubai and he's like going around the skyscraper
I haven't seen
and everything. It's very good.
I only
It's
saw the
it's a
one with
lot
the
of
water.
Oh,
fun.
well, now I like Brad Bird. Now I know what he did.
Yeah.
He did all the Disney movies I don't hate.
Right. Yeah.
Who made El Dorado
Well,
and Sinbad?
Did he?
And I don't know.
I don't
who
know.
did,
No, I just like those two.
I don't. That was DreamWorks. I don't know any of the specific people behind
but
it.
I know I liked.
It was
both
just
of those.
clumps of money.
But also, I don't know if Iron Giant was a Disney movie.
Is
though.
it? No, it's Disney.
Is it?
I'm almost certain it's Disney.
Because I remember, like, it's not really talked about whenever people talk about like
Google
that
it,
era of
I'm
Disney.
doing it.
If it's not Disney, then I think it was distributed by Disney.
Yeah, Disney like distributes like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was how Pixar originally worked before they bought
Yeah.
Pixar formally. They distribute all of the like English translations of the Miyazaki movies and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So they do a lot of like distributing and stuff. But yeah, Brad Bird is a very good director. And while, like I said, Incredibles 2, like a lot like the first one, just like for me, like personally, like it's not one of my favorites, but like just watching it is a ton of fun. It's
Yeah.
probably the most visually inventive, like not just animated movie, but like one of the most visually inventive movies
It was
to come out of
Disney.
the last.
It
few-
was.
It was Disney.
I was right.
Oh, really?
He called me a filthy liar to my face. I wanted an
Was
apology.
it distributed by Disney or was it like done in their animation like studio?
I just typed in Iron Giant Disney and Iron Giant DreamWorks, and nothing came up for Iron Giant DreamWorks.
But it's not. I like that's how you tested it. I
I
demand an apology to my Facebooks and to my family and to my
well,
dog.
Well, before I take back my various insults towards you, I'm gonna do my own Google shirt.
Yeah,
The
please.
ulti-
Warner Brothers, is that it?
Warner
Yes.
Brothers?
Okay. Is that the right one I'm looking for? Because Warner Brothers did it.
Oh, they did it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it distributed by Disney then?
I have no idea.
Mm,
I just typed
don't-
in Iron Giant Disney and it came up. So I mean that's probably right.
Oh, okay.
Here. Basically, I did the superior Google search, which was just Iron Giant, and it says Iron Giant is a 1999 American animated science fiction film using both traditional animation and computer animation,
In Disney.
produced by Warner Brothers Feature Animation and directed by Brad Bird in his directorial debut.
Okay.
So it's a Warner Brothers film,
Okay.
not Disney.
All right. Well, then I'll insult you instead, just to even it out. You fat, ugly prick. See, they're all things that are untrue about you, baby.
I'm
He's fat.
He is. He's a chubby little boy. But no one has ever seen the real Brooks. We get a different guy for whenever we do live action stuff.
You're not supposed to tell them about the guy.
Oh shit! I forgot we're recording today.
It's really Vin Diesel.
It's Vin Diesel. All right,
That's why we
guys.
started talking about Iron Giant.
It's Vin Diesel. Bring him on out.
Groot.
Just edit in just a bunch of random clips of Vin Diesel talking.
I need it to be from Xander
Family.
Cage.
Family.
Did you ever
Superman.
wait? You were there when we tried watching Triple X's Xander
Yes,
Cage.
I did.
Oh God.
Did you see it?
No.
It just opens it up on him skiing down a mountain. Sorry,
So it-
skiing down a rainforest. Sorry, skiing down through a heavily populated rainforest in central Spain.
Oh great.
It is
Wait, does it open up like Sonic Adventure 2?
kinda.
About
Oh God.
It starts out very good, but gets very boring very quickly.
Oh Jesus.
I wouldn't even say good. It starts out very bizarre. And you're like, what is happening?
It starts
Yeah.
out interesting and then stops.
If it had maintained its bizarreness, like it goes from that to like he gets his like Samuel L. Jackson blows up. That's another thing.
Oh shit.
And then there's a scene where like in order to get information, he has to sleep with like 20 women at once.
Oh, sweet.
And
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
like,
did.
and that was another bizarre scene. But after that, it became kind of just normal.
So that's why all the kids I hated in high school loved that movie.
Well, this was the new one. The old one I have not seen.
No.
They made a new one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, we should actually probably get to the first question.
Yes, I was delaying it until the 10-minute mark, which is when we usually do the first
Oh, God,
question.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I just was like, oh man, we've been riffing for
Everything's part of my grand design.
a while. Perfectly balanced as everything should be.
A grand design?
Oh, that reminds me. I was like catching up on You'll Like 'Em,
Oh,
your
yeah?
show and everything, and it was funny hearing you be surprised that I didn't like Infinity War. And that you
Yeah.
were just like, oh, I thought he'd be enthralled by that. And I'm like,
I didn't,
fuck you.
that was before you told me like you didn't like it, and I was like, oh, okay. I think, dude, I honestly thought you would because like that's your thing. Like I
But
thought you would like it.
how many-
Look, I liked King Kong Skull Island even though it sucked. Like it's fine. Shit, fuck me. I guess.
I like John
Anyway.
C. Riley.
Yeah, it's fun.
I
It's
love
awful,
John
but
C.
it's
Reilly.
fun.
John C. Reilly's like low-key one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he was great, and we need to talk about Kevin. Oh man, he was so happy and jolly. What a great movie. What a happy, fun time movie.
I still need to watch that. Don't fucking ruin it for me. I like
also,
Lynn Ramsey.
Lynn Ramsey's new film, You Were Never Really Here. I really
did you
wanna
watch
see.
that?
I haven't seen it yet. I
it's
really
so
want
good.
to. Yeah.
What's it about?
It's like
Quick spark notes, 'cause we gotta get
modern day taxi driver. Go.
like Drive.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's about like a guy.
Oh no, Stretch.
Okay. I got the first question.
Okay, what's the first question?
If babies are considered innocent, when do people cease to be innocent?
13. Next question.
Yeah, the moment you walk into a Hot Topic, it's just all gone. Hot Topic or Spencer's. It's just
The moment you walk in willingly, you're like, oh, it's Spencer's. Like,
You're like,
I can see maybe a titty.
you can be trialed as an adult at that point.
when you look at
You're
one
given
of those,
a gun and a bottle of whiskey.
when you look at one of those stores and you're just like, yeah, I'm ready to define me and my identity.
I'm going to buy all these Family Guy and nudie posters. I'm so cool.
Okay, but seriously though,
So babies are innocent.
When do babies start being evil?
Well, if I learned anything from the Boss Baby, which is absolutely nothing,
and everything.
I don't know. Well, you hear like a lot of those cases of like, all right, is it a baby exactly, or is it like?
Look, okay, so so to clarify the question a bit, the idea is that on a moral spectrum, okay, so let me even roll back even further. The question does not say words like good or bad or anything.
It says
the
evil.
word it
It
uses
says evil.
the word it uses is innocent.
Okay.
So let's talk about child crimes.
Oh, child crimes.
I'm oh no, we're back in court again.
Law and Order Child Edition.
But all the okay, so what would be funnier? What would be funnier if the cops are also kids, like, and they're in like little suits and stuff, or if it's like adults like having to like police baby
I like the
crimes?
idea of kids and like maybe the bailiff hits one of the witnesses real hard without anybody else seeing, and then the witness is about to start crying, and the bailiff's like, "No, shut up, you can hit me, it'll be fair."
No, it's okay.
Oh, I'm doing something funny. Laugh at me. Haha. Don't tell on
And
me.
they start crying, and the judge is like, "What's going on?"
You just described 10-year-old Josh to a fucking T.
What? Getting hit or hitting?
Hitting. They cry. I'm like, no, and then I'm like thinking, gotta do something funny, so they start laughing and completely like ignore like what I did earlier.
10-year-old, you do this to me all the time.
Yeah,
What are you
but get
talking
over
about,
yourself,
10-year-old
fucking pussy.
10-year-old Josh.
I'm a child, and I could be tattle on. What are you gonna do? Tattle on your
Yeah.
dad? Your dad's gonna come out and kick your ass.
You're 22.
You're right.
Okay, so, but seriously, like, okay, enough joking aside, baby crimes. Let's talk about this.
Well, you hear like those cases of like kids like fucking. Isn't that how the fucking American Sniper died? Like a kid like shot him.
No, he was murdered
Oh,
by
you're right.
another man.
No, never
child.
mind. Then I'm.
Well, he was a man.
Well,
he
I'm-
was 5 years old and not innocent.
He was in a suit. He was in like a baby suit, so he was like a little man.
He was wearing a diaper, but he was 35, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh no!
And it was filled, so.
So was he innocent?
I think so.
So let's get
What
like,
defines a baby crime?
okay, so let's get a timeline going. I think a timeline might be our best way to tackle this here issue.
Okay.
So we start out, baby comes out, like, you know, like we're talking like zero to like
noise.
first like 18 months. They're like a little baby and everything.
Isn't that infant?
Infant is like first like 6 months or so, and then they start going to like
Yeah, then like toddler.
yeah.
The
then
second they can
tween.
stand, then they're babies.
Wait,
Then they're
wait
not
a minute.
babies?
Then they are babies.
What were they before they could stand?
Infants?
Then what were they? What? I thought infants and babies were like the same thing.
No, I think like infant is younger baby.
I feel like you're going a little too pedantic.
Wait, how does it start from baby, infant, and then
No,
back
no,
to
no, no.
baby?
No, it's like, fetus birthed into an infant.
Okay.
And then it turns
So,
into
okay.
baby and then child.
Okay, so an infant is a young baby, is what you're saying.
I always thought it was baby, then infant.
No.
Okay.
No,
Fuck
infant
you.
definitely. Infant definitely does not come first.
Okay.
I mean, it does. I mean, infant does not come second. Infant is like the earliest.
I guess I'm not
Thing.
an infant.
Maybe we should Google this. I feel like there's an actual answer, and us trying to guess is
I'll
not going to
Google
help.
infant definition.
Or infant timeline.
So you work on that, and we'll get back to the timeline.
Okay.
So, ignoring the pedantic mess, which is the first like 18 months of a person's life.
Okay.
Infant, a very young child or baby.
Like,
Okay.
Okay, so is it a child or a baby?
Denoting something in the early stage of its development.
Let's move on. Okay, we're getting.
Law, a person who has not attained legal majority.
Look, man. We're getting too into the weeds right now.
Oh, what about toddler?
Oh, shit. This is going to mix everything
Okay,
up.
so we need to stop. Okay, ignoring.
Toddler crimes.
Look, no, ignoring like
Those
the
are
naming
horrendous.
conventions and everything.
Okay.
What we got is like once they reach okay, so they're in the toddler range, which is post 18 months.
Yeah.
What kind of crimes are they capable of committing?
So toddler crimes.
toddler
Suffocation.
crimes.
So not babies.
Babies. Okay, so babies are innocent. We know that.
Okay.
So
So that in between phase where like I can get up now and wander around, like that phase where you're a toddler and then you're a child.
let's think about this. If a toddler does not understand object permanence or is just starting to understand it, it's starting to understand the concept of property, but I don't know if it understands the concept of owning property.
I feel like this is all coming from like today, a baby like made fun of you and you're just trying to see if you can sue it.
Look, man. Look.
So you're trying to prove some point.
I can't afford a lawyer right now, so I have to defend myself.
This is my way. I learned the law.
Brooks Vernon is baby law.
I thought you guys would be real friends and support me in
Look,
this.
Brooks, I've been there several times where a child has made fun of me, but you have to move on. You're not going to move on.
to like. Okay, so to not diverge too much, but there was
Brooks Vernon. And that's what the baby did to you.
and I'm like, come on, man.
It was like some woman showing you her child, and the baby just goes, Brooks, and you're just like, what? That's not what I sound like, and you just totally misunderstood what happened.
Wait, my name's Brooks, and I like to look at Greg's Dirty Asian magazine.
And I'm like, how could you possibly know about that?
Wait,
And then he touches like his Bluetooth headset and goes,
wait.
I know all about you.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
He can't
Raymond
save you.
Vernon.
But anyway, to not diverge too much, there was an instance of where I got annoyed with a child at work.
Today?
So it was like it was not yesterday, it was like 2 days
Okay.
ago. But basically, I had a very strange experience. I was standing on door, which like for those who don't know, in the theater I work at, there's a long hallway leading to the theaters, and I stand on door and I tear the tickets and everything. And there was this big family, and this little fat kid started coming down the hallway. He was crouched down like a sumo wrestler, and he started slapping his thighs, like sort of walking toward a lot faster than that. Yeah, like that. Continuously, as he was sumo walking down the hallway, staring me down, saying, "I'm gonna eat you."
Is this real?
Yes, this is real.
fuck?
And I'm like, I don't. I don't
You
know how
had-
to respond to this.
He was showing he was the alpha. You
Yeah.
should have done it back.
You should have
then.
kicked him in the balls, you puss.
I mean, like, all I
No,
could really...
the thigh slaps. He has to slap his thighs
Oh,
faster.
you're right.
All I could, like, he was at the end of the hallway, and because he was, like, crouching and doing the crouch walk, it took him a very long time to come down the hallway. So all I could really do was kind of look at me like, what the fuck?
And then like you're just like there with like the ticket and your phone dialed to 911. You're like, I don't know. I don't know how to react here.
I'll just hit one. All I have to do is hit
I
one.
think I hit one and call, and all
And
problems are fixed.
I know he wasn't doing it just to do it because he
No.
was staring me down and saying, I'm gonna eat you.
So you think this baby did this deliberately to you?
Yes.
He thought you were a nerd and you needed to be bullied.
I
Yeah,
mean-
that's what it was.
I mean, yeah.
That baby was like, I'm gonna set this dork straight.
I don't even have
I'm
the...
gonna eat you.
Wait, when you were learning.
So the answer to the question, to finally the answer to the question, a person stops being innocent when they reach the age of that fat kid who made fun of me.
Final answer: Brooks can incarcerate children if he wants.
Final answer.
I've heard you. I've been hearing you fart. Don't pretend like we can't hear that. I totally heard it on the microphone too.
Wait, my name is Escovitch.
Oh, yeah?
I like to eat poop.
I do. Your point.
Fuck.
See, you gotta follow with them. Like they're not gonna do anything if you take it.
You gonna take it from a baby?
Oh my god.
Josh Yaskovich.
Dun, 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 dun.
He once was a popular director,
Bum, bum,
but then he was accused of taking it from babies.
That's like the part where the trailer goes like the record like what?
Now join us in summer 2028. Yaskovich is fighting the judicial system just to give it back to those children. Yaskovich is baby fucker.
Directed by Kevin Spacey.
Jesus Christ.
Playing at your movie theater, Brooks.
Oh, God.
And it's the only one playing because that's all they have.
And nobody else wants to act in it, so it's just me and Yaskovich.
Still
Zach-
directed by Kevin Spacey.
Zach, are you the baby?
Maybe.
You are the baby. Look at you.
See,
Look at them thighs.
I think we may. I think I may need to find like a new source of questions because like I'm discovering that like a lot of these are like, hey, you want to discuss race? And I'm like, no, no.
What do you mean? I can race.
Yeah, I can outrace Zach. I can outrace all of you.
Could you?
Yeah, I could
you
say
run as fast as
I could say
Dylan?
the N-word pretty fast. Thank you very
no.
much. So speaking of Dylan, I don't know if I talked about this on this show.
For those who don't know, Dylan is Josh's dog.
he's my little doggy
His
boy,
overweight dying
who
dog.
everybody loves except for you two guys.
I love Dylan.
You don't love him at all.
I
Every
don't-
time I get in the car, you're like, "Is your fat fuck there?" And I'm like, "Stop talking
That's-
about my dog or me."
That's a
Or
term
dad.
of endearment. I love Dylan. He's
Okay.
like a little dinosaur.
I don't
like-
want to touch him because I feel like he's going to die.
Dude, he's a pussy magnet. I am fucking telling you. Everybody, like, I've started taking Dylan. Just to sum this up, my parents have been trapped in Florida. Yeah, trapped in Florida because of my dad's dumb foot because he's an idiot. So like I had to watch Dylan and like he gets stressed out and like told you about that rash thing he gets if he's like left alone. So I was like, well fuck, I have to like take him places. I need to go to these places. So I started taking Dylan around and he's fucking great. Like I didn't have to like put like a leash on him or anything. And
He's not gonna run away.
No, he's not going anywhere. Like he's not gonna do
like,
anything.
where's he gonna go?
Where is he gonna go and how is he gonna get there? Like seriously. So like he just walked around with us and hung out. Like I went to like hang out at Bowen's with Ben and Ethan, and we just took him to like McDaniel College and like played on the pianos. And like a legit security guard came in, and he was just like, "Oh, whoa!" and like started petting Dylan. He's like, "Whoa, this dog's great!" And then just walked out and like didn't tell us to leave because it was like 2 a.m. So like you know what, Dylan, I'm gonna start taking him places, man. And that's all I wanted to say about that. Just so you could look up questions, and you haven't done that yet, have you?
I found a question.
Okay,
I was waiting
go.
for you to
go.
be done.
Just do it.
If you could start a country from scratch, what would it be like?
Oh man.
I don't know the first thing about, economics or
Infrastructure,
politics.
or like any kind
History.
of
History?
Yeah.
This is a new country.
Yeah, remember that bit where you asked me history questions? And
Oh yeah. What does Zach know? Does he know things? Let's find out.
So
It's not a
okay, so speaking of Kevin Spacey, so like let's say that like the thing in Superman Returns happened where a big old new continent just kind of sprouted up in the ocean, and we were assigned to make a country there. What would it be? What would it be like?
Is it bad that I've like thought about this before?
No.
Okay. I've had like the thought in like two different ways. I've thought of it like, what if I like had my own island and like I had people and I had to like govern said people, or what if I went back in time? And this would only be if I was like stuck in time, not rather visiting, but like I was stuck in time, like I was stuck in like the medieval times or whatever. I had to form a government. It would probably be very much based off of like a democracy, just like a very more social one, like the one I'd vote for. There's not really an entertaining answer to that. I would just be like, I want to do the best I can with what I have.
Yeah,
we have to eat crabs for a month until we can like trade with people, guys. I'm really sorry.
Well,
that
most
would
of
be
these crabs
the-
aren't even finished. Like
They're not even crabs. They're just rocks I'm calling crabs.
So what you're saying is, okay, so I find the scenario a little bit more fun if you were like put into the past and everything. That's the kind of leader you would be, of where you're just constantly apologizing every time something goes wrong.
All right, guys, I'm telling you this. We're cutting taxes and we're putting a lot more money into the poor. Yeah. But I'm getting rid of child slavery and sex. Oh! And I'm like, guys, look. You'll fake me in a couple of 100 years.
It's interesting. Like you're trying to be very like nice to them.
Yeah, I'm trying to be progressive and like trying to like help.
You're trying to like be progressive, but you're also trying to be very nice because you realize in a country of your own making, where you set up the laws and everything, the laws only have meaning that you assign to them.
Yeah.
So if a bunch of people just decided that the law is saying they can't kill Josh Yaskovich and take over the country does not have meaning
that's a
anymore.
very specific law. You really should.
That was the first one I wrote, day one, on the Constitution.
If a lot of people just kind of get together in a room and say, you know what, we don't have to follow that law, that you're in a lot of trouble all of a sudden.
I'm in a lot of trouble immediately. But yeah,
so you're always the kind of guy who's like, look, guys, I'm sorry,
look,
but like,
I know you want to like
there's-
have children's sex slaves.
yeah, like, look,
But
There's-
and hear me out. No.
they're,
What if we give them a vote?
they're just like, okay, so we have to free these slaves, and they're like, why? Because they're human beings. He's like, no, they're not. And you're like,
Shit.
it's just like,
And like, no, look at him. Talk to him. It's like, John, you over there. Do you want to be a slave? It's like,
and then he,
yeah. Fuck.
Fuck, God damn
John's
it.
a terrible example.
All
He
right,
does
John.
not-
All right, you can keep John as a slave, but the rest got to go. I want to be a slave. God damn it! Who wants to be slaves? And like half the audience raises up. I'm like,
Even the ones that weren't slaves.
yeah, people weren't slaves, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll just trade out.
In fact, it's like exactly like the people who weren't slaves, and all like none of the slaves raised their hand. He's like, okay, I guess we switch now.
Each year it switches. Like the rich will be slaves for like a year, and like all the slaves become rich for a year.
And he's just like, okay, so I'm trying to figure out like a time thing. Like, okay, so this person got sick, so they can stop being a slave for a bit, and then like this person hasn't been. This person's been really rich for a while. So we need to bring him down.
They gotta be a slave for a little bit longer, and then just cut to like, hear ye, the law known as Freaky Friday has now been enacted, where slaves and rich people will switch often. And I'm like, well, I guess if you want to be rich, you have to have slaves. Fuck. All right.
So you actually, by doing this, you made slavery like a more permanent institution.
I just made it like a better thing.
You've made it more acceptable. I wouldn't say better.
I've made it more acceptable.
You made it like it'll last longer, but there's still gonna be slaves.
They'll
though.
still be slaves, but
But
sometimes they'll be rich.
Those seem like voluntary slaves.
Those guys wanted to be slaves. What the fuck was I supposed to? Oh, I didn't want slaves.
Like you say at first it's voluntary, but there's gonna be a certain point when you come to your house, you're like, it's your turn to be a slave.
You're right.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we got to go to the Yaskovich and get those papers notarized.
They're just like, hey, yeah, it's my turn to be a slave. Yeah, I'm gonna like go get the chains and stuff from the back. I'll be right. You wait out here.
Okay, that's you putting the chains on the slaves.
You wait right here. I'll go. I just gotta go to the back, and I'll come right out, and it'll be my turn to be a slave. I'll be right back. Just wait right outside here.
See, Brooks, this is telling me you would not not thrive in Yaskovich's community.
You would not. You.
I would. I'd be the slave, and
You
then
would.
I'd be rich.
Yeah, exactly. It would be everyone would get along,
And then you'd just be a slave again.
And then
and then
rich.
he'd be rich again until he dies on one of them. He'll probably die as a slave. I mean, come on.
I mean, I know you though, so like maybe you can fudge the numbers, make me
Yeah,
not a slave,
Got you, boy.
Okay, so
or maybe I would just be your slave, and then we can still hang out.
So
Oh,
coming
a
up
rich slave.
coming up on the end of this section, we have established one thing: Josh Yaskovich pro-slavery.
Pro-slavery if wanted, but maybe not.
We're still working it
yes
out.
or no. It's like the full thing on like the voting.
Zach-
Oh, that's another thing. I introduced voting, and they're like, "Oh, voting." Next, he wants to get rid of war and eating vagrants. Well, all right, hear me out.
You eat vagrants? I didn't think that was a thing.
And he's
No eating vagrants.
and they're just like, okay, so who gets to vote? And he's like, well, okay, so the dudes get to vote, and they're like, yeah. And women
And
get to
ladies.
vote, and they're like, what?
Oh, what the fuck?
And slaves get the vote. And they're like,
And then like the woman is just like that sounds pretty alright, and the dude's like, come on, there's gonna be absolute chaos. What are you talking about?
Who gets the vote now? Animals? And I'm like, well, no, but we're gonna start treating them better. What?
I get it, Yaskovich. That you say the slaves can also vote. And they're like,
Yeah.
well, then what's the point of me being a slave if I have to vote? And then they become workers, and you solve slavery.
Yeah.
Look, I only became a slave, so I didn't have to fucking vote.
Okay, so you guys get to be slaves on the. You get to have slaves on the conditions that, like, they're not kept in chains. They have their own house. They're paid, and they have specific times in which they show up to do the work.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Why did I fucking want to do this? I have to mess with time travel all the fucking time.
You know what? And then you like rip out the back. Everyone's a slave.
Yeah, I all slaves. So they go,
I'm king.
Yeah! I'm king and you're all slaves. Yeah! Ah, the past.
And then the plague
Then
comes.
the plague and wipes us all out.
Except you, and you're just like, I need more slaves.
I guess I need
Zach,
more
what would your
slaves.
world be like? What would your country be like?
Are we still going on like
Let's-
the island thing,
Or like the back in time one.
I think let's save the back in time one for yours specifically.
because I want to go like the opposite, like in the future, like colonizing Mars kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, how
Because-
would you colonize Mars?
Well, you can't really get to Mars unless you get onto a spaceship, and you're not really going to get onto that spaceship without some heavy screening. So,
Yeah.
like, first you got to have like some good genetics, like, you know.
okay, so we've established that Josh is pro-slavery and Zach,
Zach is eugenics.
Zach is pro-eugenics.
Huh?
Got it.
well, no, but, like-
Cool.
And Brooks just hates black people, but that's besides the
Yeah.
point.
No.
See, it's a unifying theme. Do you like measure the size of their skulls or something?
No. You like sit down and it's like Blade Runner. You have one of those interviews with them, like,
Oh.
hey, are you going to be an asshole? And like, fuck you. And like, okay.
What do you mean I'm going to be an asshole? Like, pop out and shoot you?
Okay, so by good genes, do you mean like a personality test?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a personality test, and
But
like,
personality isn't genes.
well,
Yeah,
no, but
I
like,
guess that's less
if the,
bad.
No, if the person has like super asthma or like
don't
some
think-
crippling depression or
Yeah, I
bonitis,
don't
then
think,
no.
I don't
Okay,
think
okay, so
astronauts
we're
go through
still-
a personality test
But
by
okay.
BuzzFeed.
Thankfully, he has clarified we're still sticking with eugenics.
You got it.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
I
You would
thought that
love
was
it.
the Nazi thing.
Oh,
Close enough.
I mean, yeah, they did do that.
Okay.
There's
But no, I get what you mean. There's like a physical fitness test
Well,
you
yeah,
got to
like
go through.
I don't want like we're gonna use John as the example again. Say he like does crack on the reg and he starts fist fights down at the
See,
bar.
that's-
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
there's
why
a
would I want that?
there's a big difference between.
But like, you can casually drink. if
Are
you
these
want.
astronauts or people you're going to colonize the planet with?
people I'm going to colonize the planet? Like, 'cause
Oh, I
don't
thought
wanna-
these were
No.
astronauts.
I don't want to limit it to just that. I'm saying like
Oh.
the astronauts. There's already the place set up.
So
on
yours
Mars.
is like the whole like utopia in
But
the
yeah,
sky.
we're bringing like the people there. Like, there's a screening process. It's
Okay.
like, hey, are you going to be a
Oh.
fucking dick when you get
Got
here?
ya.
Are you going to commit crimes?
That's not going to work.
no, but like, I want to have that screening
yeah.
process.
Case in point, BioShock.
yeah.
I mean, also they get killed for any minor crime.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, death penalty is like through the roof.
Is
so
it
like,
life
hey.
on Mars? No. That's it. That's the
cops are allowed to kill like indiscriminately.
Cops are allowed to kill.
Other like there's an
Cops allowed
actual,
to kill other cops.
there's an actual gladiatorial arena. That's how the death
So
sentence
it's
works.
just the fucking Mad Max world. Is
You
what
just
you're
have
saying.
Rome
but
on
like,
Mars.
but it looks nice. But it looks very. It's
really
very clean.
Hey, hey, Josh! Remember
terrible,
that?
but it's clean.
Remember that time we opened up Friends by Default episode, and you made the joke to Zach. And he's like, "Yeah, Nazis, those guys you like so much." And then Zach is just like, "No," and then cut forward to now. He's like, yeah, so we're gonna have eugenics, and you get killed for every minor crime.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Well,
Unless you're like a rich white
I
guy,
mean,
then I can completely understand.
It's a huge deterrent. Like, if somebody's like,
Is it?
I think so. Like, would you commit a crime if you know you're going to die?
I don't think I just never go to Mars.
I mean,
There you
like,
go. I don't want you on Mars.
and then it's just
I
Zach
guess.
on Mars with this empty city.
I would love that.
That would be crazy.
and then
I get my own gladiatorial arena with
where nobody
imaginary
kills
fighters.
anybody.
and then you're just like, man, I don't have any money, and then you look like at a fruit stand that you don't own, and you're just like, I can probably get away with it.
You like take it, and then somebody else comes and like, "Hey!" and you're like, "Oh shit!"
and somebody kills
And then
you.
I kill them, and I'm like, "Whew, that could have been bad." And then the horse sees me, and I go, "Fuck,
Oh god,
I'm gonna die."
gotta have sex with that horse first.
But at least I get a cool gladiatorial death.
Yeah, I guess so. When that horse fucks you.
Maybe trial by combat. But if you survive, you're fine.
So yours is gonna be just an empty city on Mars.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Full of
here-
just you.
Here's the thing about trial by combat. You're basically guaranteeing that the best murderer can do whatever he wants.
The best
Who-
murderer
yeah, but
is
ever-
instantly a celebrity.
Who's
But, like-
ever the most good at killing can basically run the country.
Well, yeah, but it's not always gonna be glad. Maybe it'll be a chess game one time.
It's Chess
Oh.
Wednesdays.
Like if it's a
Trial-
streak going on, it's like fighting. Oh, the person won like their murder off. Okay, well next it's gonna be how well can you train this animal, or like maybe can you cultivate this crop very well?
Start out on murder.
Okay, fine. Maybe we won't start out on murder.
Maybe we work up to murder.
Oh, fucking pussy doesn't want to murder a man.
So what
you
you're
already
saying,
stole an apple.
So what you're saying?
There's a fine line.
So what you're saying, like rearing animals and stuff, like what you're saying is you have a Stardew Valley like based code of laws.
Look, we just
essentially.
duct tape a shotgun to a bear, and that's your cop, all right?
The bear doesn't know how to pull the trigger. It just does.
The bear determines crime.
Oh my God, bear cops!
Bear cop.
I was very not on board with Zach's like Nazi Mars utopia, but I am now suddenly
always say
very. I am now all of a
Just
sudden.
catchphrase.
I am all of a sudden very on board with it.
With bear cops.
Bear cops is great.
I just picture two bears just rolling around the street with like literally like rolls of duct tape of a shotgun onto them, and they're not even doing anything. They're just like wandering around, and one just kind of like does that like fat sit it does on its like butt. And it's like really cute, and then someone comes out and they get mauled to death because they're bears.
They're good bears.
They're good bears.
They were trained. Brooks, what would your liberal cuck soy boy world be?
I was gonna make the joke of just socialism, but now I guess I have to come up with something else.
That was mine was. I was
you
like,
got
I'm like,
me.
I'll try and get socialism, but all these fucking dirt people want slavery, so I don't know what to do.
It wasn't me that wanted the slavery.
Like, I didn't want. I campaigned on no slavery, but all of them wanted slavery.
So I had to roll with it.
So I wanted votes. What the fuck was I supposed to do?
Fucking politicians. So I would basically let's say we got like a big old piece of land no one was using, and I got a bunch of people and everything, and they're all waiting around to see what the new country is like.
Yeah.
And I come up to them. I have a big old fancy weathered scroll. I open it up and I'm like, no laws. And then I throw the scroll away.
Fuck it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody's just standing there like, what? And then there's the one guy in the background who just goes, yeah! And then he
run
kills
off with
the
like
guy
a
next to
suitcase of money into a taxi, and it just speeds off.
I don't actually run or live in the country.
No, you don't.
They just put me in charge for some reason.
Yeah,
So-
and I was just like, fuck it.
So you took all of the money and then said, no laws, and then you left.
yeah.
You took the entire economy with you.
And unlike either of you got, well, kind of like with Zach, because it's like the Nazi Mars utopia, but I'm actually going to give it a national identity. It's called Funsville. It is the place where you go for fun, good time, no laws. Try, but we do have suggestions.
We have suggestions.
We have suggestions, but no laws. First suggestion: try not to kill. It's bad.
If you can, I get it. But if you have to, I get it. But if you can't, just try and avoid it.
Suggestion number 2: bartering. Good. Like, try to avoid like creating a kind of currency that you all agree has inherent value.
Yeah.
Like, try to avoid that. Like, keep it chill, keep it fun. We don't need to complicate
You
things.
gotta be fucking free.
Yeah.
Let's all be hippies and just like take brown acid.
I don't
Yeah.
want to work for beans.
Yeah.
I want to work for sex.
That man gets it.
Shit. I want to work for slaves. Ah, fuck.
My name's Yaskevich, and I want to work for sex.
I do.
And then you get sent to child court because
Because they're just like, well, let's just make a child judge. Like, what are they gonna do? Make a law against that?
yeah,
50
come on.
years in the dungeon.
Man,
Suggestion.
West Virginia's great.
Suggestion number. Suggestion number 3. Suggestion number 3 is. It's probably a bad idea to, sue Brooks Vernon in any kind of way.
Sue or harm.
Sue
or
or
maim.
harm or take revenge on him for any possible damages that occurred.
Can I be called Brooks Vernon? No, you may not. That's suggestion number 5. No Brooks Vernons other than me.
and then there's one but my name's also Brooks Vernon.
I was already
and then
named
he
Brooks
kills
Vernon.
Suggestion 4: name your kid Brooks Vernon to feed my ego.
What time are we at? Because I gotta.
We are time for the short break, and then we'll be able to come back with the hypothetical.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
I made an owl.
You made an owl?
You made an owl?
That's all you did. There's nothing on that paper but an owl. Was that what you were doing?
No.
You had to come up with a hypothetical.
Okay. Let's name something in the air. Both of you guys, just name something in the air. Just
Name something in the air?
Yeah, just name something in
What
the
is
air.
it? What counts as something in the air?
Anything in the air, like atoms, dust, like anything in
Clouds.
the air. Clouds. All right.
Brooks, go.
Planes.
Clouds and planes.
Clouds and planes. Ooh, okay. Yeah, no, I've definitely have something I can work with this. Just like a material from each of you also, like,
Felt.
That's close to velvet, isn't it? I know we used velvet before.
We did
Okay.
use velvet before. I'm going to say wood.
I'm going to say
Did we
granite.
use wood before? I thought it was wood and velvet were the exact ones.
I think it was.
I-
Have we used granite? We haven't used granite.
No, I will
Granite
accept granite.
countertops. There we go.
Styrofoam.
Styrofoam.
Ooh. I don't know how to spell that right, but I'm gonna try my. That's close. I can read it. And now, just general location. I don't want like Italy or Rome. I just want like a grassy hillside.
Oh,
or
just like a
like a
place.
library.
Yeah, like something that's a
From
setting.
each of us or just one?
Yeah, each of you.
A library?
A library.
Okay.
A snowy hilltop.
Snowy hilltop. Is it a sunny snowy hilltop? Or is
Yeah,
it dusk?
It's like
Is it currently snowing?
No, it had just snowed. There's a lot of snow, but
A
there's the sun's
still
out.
Snowy hilltop.
Yes,
A still
it's very quiet.
sunny, snowy, and there's the Yeti.
That's gonna be an edit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an edit.
Okay, so
Just put in a louder scream.
so what you guys have made is actually it's pretty good.
Oh wow!
People have been demanding it for like minutes. Yeah, and
Yeah?
You've made it with just granite and styrofoam.
Yeah.
You created the perfect filtering device.
Oh shit!
It-
Wait, haven't we done this?
Out of the air, it pulls. No, I don't believe I've made filter device before. I maybe made a different device,
Oh,
but not
maybe.
one for filtering.
Okay, continue.
But it filters out clouds from the very air itself.
Oh,
There is a little bit of a drawback to it, though. Like it's like a huge like granite like funnel that points up to the sky.
It also filters planes.
Yeah, it brings in those planes.
Look, sometimes you gotta suck up planes to get the clouds.
I
they
mean-
hide in the clouds. It's not our fault.
I mean,
Those goddamn planes were in the fucking clouds. We wouldn't have this
can't-
problem.
You cannot make an omelet without crashing a few eggs in a fiery explosion.
Now, see, this is just like the secondary result. What I want to know is what is the main purpose of this machine? Like, you have the funnel that sucks in the clouds and the planes by accident, and then like in front there's like the little vent, and out of that vent comes. I'm just wondering.
Water and plane parts.
Ooh, I like.
Yeah, scrap metal.
Scrap metal.
Oh, so it's like a very eco-friendly.
So the clouds are by accident too.
We're recycling
yeah.
all those planes.
We're recycling. Look,
It's just
we
a
think
big-
we want to cut out the middleman of using the plane and just recycle the parts immediately, so we can make another plane and then just recycle that back again. Do people get killed? Yeah, but tell me when people don't get killed.
Some say it was made to actually filter out like the impurities out of the air, but it just started to
By impurities, do you mean destroying the entire ozone and thus cooking the Earth in the sun's fiery rays? The answer is no. Why would you even ask that? Like, no.
Look, first we made a thing that sucked up dust, and then started taking in the clouds, and then it started taking in the planes, and it just didn't stop. All right,
And it's like
we turned it
cannot
on.
turn it off.
We cannot turn it off. We figured out how to turn it on. We didn't figure out a way to turn it off.
We have literally tried to disassemble it, but it's just
No,
made of
it's like 4 miles of granite. It's this huge fucking thing.
What about
dude.
the parts that are styrofoam?
They're covered in more granite.
Okay, so we go up with like a fucking hammer and stuff, and we go up to the styrofoam and we like hit it, and then it screams, and so we like kind of just back off and let it do its thing.
Best bet, let it just kind of fill up until it it stops. Will there be a way for it to be filled up? No. Shit.
I mean, yes, maybe.
yes, yeah.
Our scientists aren't sure. They got sucked into it. They were riding a plane from Guatemala over
Yeah,
here. and they just-
best bet you walk here to figure it out.
yeah.
please.
I'm worried about just driving up to it.
So
Now, it's funny you mentioned that you have to walk to it, because there's actually only 2 places in the world that this filter device
Oh,
exists.
of course.
One is on a very still, sunny, snowy hilltop.
Mm-hmm.
It may have just snowed, but it has never snowed again ever since you've installed this device.
Yeah, that was like our site B. We started it there, and then we took it to our other location, which was
In a library.
Yeah.
Just inside, the library is now an open door
Yeah.
library.
Yes.
Open roof, sorry.
yeah.
and the library was accidentally built on top of the snowy hilltop.
yes.
And thus there are now 2 machines kind of going full blast, making the situation literally as bad as it possibly could be.
Yeah, like all the clouds around the world are just being sucked into this.
You know how it stopped snowing on the hilltop? It's kind of started doing that everywhere.
Yeah, I just you can't have snow if you don't have fucking clouds. So I don't know what to tell you.
There's some scientists have a theory that if you make a third one, the clouds will all get sucked out in just the right way, that it will make a perfect triangle.
That is a fucking lie.
That's a lie. Whoever told you that is ugly.
My mom told me that.
Oh, well,
I'm sorry.
not that one.
Oh,
The one she heard it from.
oh, she heard it from you.
Yeah.
Yaskovich.
Shit. I have to take it. What am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna call his mom ugly. Fuck. All right, so we're working on the third one, right?
Yeah, so I guess the cat's out of the bag that we're working on a third one.
All right. Working in quotes. We made the first one, and then it made another one itself. So there's just more that are coming.
So we're kind of just recreating the conditions to try to recreate the, for lack of a better term, birth of the second one, to try to have a third one so that there can be like a fucking triangle or something. We don't know the exact.
And you know
math.
what? If you're all fucking pissed because we might destroy the ozone or destroy the environment or eliminate humanity and all the animals on the planet.
Did you say humanity?
Look, we're getting rid of all the manatees first. That's a different fucking. It's a different thing. All
That
right?
is not related to this project.
That is a personal thing
That
I like to
is-
do, and how dare you fucking bring that up?
That is a hobby. Thank you. I like to keep my private life and my work life separate.
Yeah, on Sundays I take a boat and I fucking hit a bunch of manatees in Florida. What's their fucking problem? You want to fight? But anyways, so we're gonna destroy the Earth as Plan G, and then just create a new and restart the world and restart society. This time with no fucking slavery.
So
all right?
we're
gonna fix everything.
We have a ship headed towards Mars. We just need people to pass a few certain tests. What kind of tests? Like a physical fitness
Like
one.
a physical one.
Like a drug test.
A money
like
test.
Like a not be disabled in any way test.
Yeah, we don't want any fucking deafies up here.
A don't be poor
yeah,
test.
because you got to hear us in space. Like,
And a don't be something other than white
yeah,
test.
like it's a simple. We're going in alphabetical order of color, just backwards. All right, and swear we'll get finally into the Chinese.
Yeah,
somehow.
we just have to. We need to get enough ships going.
Yes.
And I swear to God, we will not stop until all of the Argentinians are on Mars.
Yes, but we're not accepting any fucking Irish. Okay, I want to make that clear
We
right
will-
here,
we
right
will
now.
That was
not-
implied. That was implied.
We will not take.
We
the
will not
Irish.
accept the Irish because
All
of
right.
the ways that they have
So there's
spurned
8
us.
machines now, right?
Yeah.
At the time we were talking, there's now 8.
There's now 7 machines. I
Oh,
think
God.
they ate one.
They ate, and the one was too weak. I don't know how it was weak, and they ate it.
See, that was
I
a question.
think-
That was a question we had. What happens if you happen to tip over one of these machines?
Oh no! Don't
Towards
do
the-
that. Don't.
Okay,
don't
so
do that. As
I
I'm putting
agree-
money into a briefcase.
I-
Don't, not yet. Don't do it yet.
I agree that we should ignore the fact that they now have standards of strength and weakness
Yes.
that they follow themselves. Excuse me. And go right past that to tipping. Don't.
Fuck, dude. They're already grouped up next to one another. They have a government.
Oh, they're outside the.
I'm
man.
watching the
Shit, shit,
Twitch
shit, shit,
live
shit,
stream.
shit.
They seem to be going straight to the ocean.
Oh
right
man, I know. I
They
know.
started a Twitch live stream.
Yeah.
They're learning.
I mean, I tried to see. Look, I'm a man of science. I had a hypothesis. I followed all the correct procedures to figure out if introducing Fortnite to them would have maybe changed the situation somehow.
Yeah, and I was just really drunk and had a lot of money, so I just gave it to him to do this.
So really, it's your fault.
Well, no.
So what
No.
you're saying is I'm absolved of all responsibility.
No.
My
See?
name's Yaskovich, and I have all the responsibility.
That is exactly what he sounds like. Thank you, reporter.
How did this get turned on me? This was your idea. You were like, hey, let's fucking suck all the dirt out of this.
Oh yeah, that's just like you to try to brush it off onto me.
Oh, look, all right, look, I have a thing against planes, but that's fucking completely different, and that's racist for you to bring that up. All right, I hate planes. Oh, fuck, they're coming.
Oh man, hang on. Let me go through here. Here it is, and then I toss it out the door. We'll be safe for now.
What'd you toss?
That's not important.
Oh, did you toss all of our money? Are
Yes.
they coming to us for the money?
We keep making the money. I will deal with you in a second. Please.
Oh, they're forming a line?
They're forming a line because they're not uncivilized.
Jesus
Please.
Christ.
They would pass the test to get to Mars.
You're
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. We were trying to create the perfect being to get to Mars. All right. You fucking caught us. It was Brooks' idea. It was-
Oh, so
you
it was
just-
Brooks's idea.
You just had to work in that plane feature because you hated planes.
and you had to work in the cloud one because you're afraid of clouds.
Brooks.
You promised you would never speak that aloud.
Oh, well, everything's off the fucking table now, Brooksy boy.
I told you that in confidence.
Brooks, cloud afraid Vernon. Are you actually afraid?
We were embracing each other next to the firelight.
We were, and we were crying, and then
And-
you decided to throw me under the fucking bus.
I was there.
He was.
It was the previous report.
Excuse me, reporter. Can you please let Josh know that it's very unfair for him to be like throwing this all at me when he had just as big of a part in ending humanity as I did?
Josh, I have a message to you from Brooks.
What is that?
Wee.
Well, reporter, will you let Brooks know that he's dumb?
Brooks, I have a message from Yaskovich.
Yes, what is it?
He says you're dumb.
And reporter, I slide my hand across to yours. I think we've become really good friends. Like I saw you like talk to Yaskovich, and like you said my message word for word, just how I wanted it. And like I feel like you understand me like on like a deep level in a way that some people don't. So I feel like this could be the beginning of a great partnership. I have an idea for a machine that we can build together that will suck up all of the machines that we did before, but also make water stop.
Reporter, I need you to have sex with Brooks and send it to me by videotaping.
Is that a 20?
It is $2.
I accept. You got it, Brooks. Let's do this. You and me.
Reporter, I know this is like soon in our like sort of relationship, but
Yeah.
like I really want to get back at my ex, Josh, and what would really drive him up the fucking wall is if we, like had sex, and you videotaped it and sent it to him. Like it's not like a big deal. We don't have to make a big deal out of
Shucks.
it.
I would, but I'm already spoken for. And then I pull out from behind me in a briefcase a miniature version of the machine that you guys have made that is just sucking.
Oh.
What the fuck have we been talking about for the past like, 10 minutes?
Where did this hypothetical go?
What even is this?
We revealed a lot about ourselves.
What is this? What is this that we? What is this?
What world have we created?
We got to end the show before it. It's already burnt and died.
I like to think there's just the three of us sitting and having this carnal knowledge three-way while the world is just being sucked up by these towering
absolutely.
monoliths of evil.
And then one's in the room with us.
Nope.
So that was fucking bizarre. And I have a question for you, Zach. Did you come up with that hypothetical before we started the show?
Sure.
I thought you were going to come out and it was like dated like 2 days ago or something.
Like you have a picture.
Oh,
like,
all the previous ones are dated.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh. He knows numbers.
I did it.
But anyway, that's going to do it for today, folks.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed us.
I hope you enjoyed this. We will be back next week with a whole new episode.
A whole new bag.
This has been Friends by Default. You can find us on iTunes, is probably the best place. You can subscribe to us there, never miss an episode. Give us a rating and review. That helps us out a ton and helps get the word out. But the best way to get the word out probably is word of mouth itself, because we don't have any sort of money for any kind of advertising campaign. So all of basically any listenership that we get is all thanks to you guys. I'd like to say thank you for listening if you made it this far, and please consider just sharing the show with someone who you think would like it and who you think would have a good time. If you have your own questions and quandaries and hypothetical scenarios you would like to hear us talk about, the best place to send that is fbdpod@gmail.com. That's the number one stop shop to get into contact with us. We also upload episodes along with iTunes, basically a whole number of different places that, basically anywhere that you get a podcast, you'll be able to find it. And we also put the episodes up on our YouTube channel, 100 Years Productions. You can check that out and check out some other stuff. Along with that, some of our older work. And yeah, that's also another great place to subscribe, leave likes, leave comments, and just get the engagement up and help support the show. We also have a Patreon page. That one is dedicated to 100 Years Productions as a whole, so that goes to both this show and also the other main show, which is You'll Like 'Em.
With me, Josh and Connor.
A music
Your
podcast.
name's Josh and Connor?
Yep, I'm Connor and Josh.
A music podcast done by Josh here and also our very good friend Connor. It's a very good show. I've just recently caught up listening to it and everything. I've been catching up on a lot of different podcasts. And then the other social media places you can find us, the main one is our Twitter account, @FBDPod. We give regular updates for when the episodes come out, but also if there's going to be a change in the schedule or any kind of delay or anything. And so, yeah, I think that's about it in terms of the plugs and everything. So, yeah.
I'll see you next week.
I'm JB Yaskevich. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Where can everybody find you guys?
That's it. Just
said-
YouTube and Instagram.
Probably just Snapchat. Or
Find him on Snapchat.
Just
Brave
you
Snuggles.
can find me through whatever Brooks said.
His address is 567.
No, stop.
No.
You can find me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active. My handle is @BrooksRVernon. That's the best place to find me and keep up to date with what's going on. And yeah, now that's it for the plugs.
Okay, cool. See you next time?
Bye.
Now we gotta restart the whole show.
See ya.
I don't want to start.